Voting is next week. Happy Wednesday. So 5 days. Early voting starts on the 18th. In court, we have our closing arguments. And as we approach Monday, and we're coming up on, really for me, I think 9 months that I've been presenting my case to this community, this is my closing argument. It really is. And we started off with 6 in this field. There was 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans. Now we're in a runoff, and it's 2 and 2. And so I would just want to speak to the importance of your vote, one vote. On my side, we all know it's me and the guy with the red cap, Gary Groves. And I want to speak to him, and really not in a negative way. Just really, I want to look for something positive to say of Mr. Groves. And he spent essentially a career on being a cheerleader for the Republican Party here in Hidalgo County. I think he's suited for that. If I had to say something positive of you, Mr. Groves, I think you're a good cheerleader, but it doesn't translate. It doesn't translate to the State House, and it doesn't translate to a legitimate campaign. You're kind of, at this point, a cartoon character of a campaigner and of a candidate. And it really is an outdated message, and it doesn't really attract from what we're going to need to win this race in November. And so this is really just a pathway to nowhere, your campaign. I would think the Trump trains you've done and all of the things you've done for the local GOP and all of the red cap kind of stuff that you do, great. But it doesn't really translate to a campaign, and it's on display as we speak, refusing to debate or presenting ideas that are just not very well thought out. What people say, let's eliminate all tax. Okay, you can't do that. At least I'm honest and straight enough with this community that is not a legitimate path going forward. I'll cut them in half, and I presented this idea. Or to eliminate all tax and replace it with a horrible tax called the value-added tax. Again, not well thought out plans, pathways to nowhere. And more importantly, a vote for Gary Groves, or if you just stay home and don't vote at all, just as equally as bad, is really a vote for the Democrats on this side. And so tonight I do want to talk about them as well. And we have in Mr. Sebi Haddad, he's just kind of a chameleon, and he's a little bit of everything. We've seen this of Mr. Haddad, and you don't need to hear that from me. You can hear that from his 2 previous opponent, Mr. Holguin, and now Mr. Salinas. The 2 on the Democrat field have pointed out, it's not hard to do this, that he's a Republican. They pointed this out. Or he's just back and forth on issues. We don't know how he stands on so many issues. That's kind of what you get with Mr. Haddad, and he's kind of had a career of that. Speaking of the tax situation, I think a disingenuous discussion on his tax rates of the city. His dad is the owner of Doctors Hospital, one of the owners. His dad is one of the owners of Lone Star National Bank. All of this is connected to Alonzo Cantu. Sebi Haddad himself is a vice president of Lone Star National Bank. So this kind of incestual situation that we all recognize here in the area. Maybe some of us are afraid to speak to it. I will. We all know this to be true. I'm obviously an outsider. I'm here to flip tables upside down, politically speaking. We spoke just recently of the abortion issue and how is he fooling all of you Democrats. He is pro-life. There's no doubt about it. I think it's a wonderful thing, Sebi. But it goes against your party. And I think this nuanced discussion that you have, or that you trying to have it both ways. Mr. Haddad, I think, is bad fit for the area for the reasons that I've stated. The other option, if you vote for Gary Groves, the other one that would slide in, who I would describe as the leader in this field on the Democrat side. Why? Because he received the most votes. Something as basic as that. Julio Salinas, an avowed socialist, some say communist, planning on exploding at the State House our tax dollars. High-speed rail to nowhere, high-speed rail systems that nobody's calling for in the world of many billions of dollars, with no possible way to pay for this other than to explode taxes. This is what socialists do. They love to spend your money. The money you work for will be spent under his plans. But I can just promise you, by definition, the socialist wants tax dollars. So a vote for Gary is a vote for them too. Who do you think those 2 guys want to win this race? Do you think that they would like for you all to vote for Gary Groves and then one of them would just slide into the State House? Really just put some logic to that. I do have legitimate plans going forward. I'm the only one that has plans that are in line with the governor's plans. I'm the only one that has plans to slash taxes. I speak of reasonable terms in the world of $200 a month that will impact my mom, that will impact this house, my children, everybody in the district, these wonderful communities, Edinburg, Mission, McAllen, and Pharr. $200 a month based on median property taxes. These are the things that I'll fight for at the State House. That's on the Democrat side. These issues that I just truly believe to be crazy, nonsensical, not common sense. Boys and girls restrooms, boys and girls sports. That's not going to happen. I would never never allow anything like that to happen. That's not going to happen in Texas. That's not going to happen in the Valley. This is not our culture. Culturally, here in the Valley, we are a conservative people. I'm speaking to all the Democrats out there. I'm speaking to all of the Republicans out there. We can build a coalition to get to the State House. I will be honored. I will be honored to have a seat next to the governor. I'll be honored to have a seat at the table, ready to fight for the area. We've been lacking for so many years. How many people out there, when we're surrounded by 100% Democrats, really think we need one more? We need to continue really the disaster of Bobby Guerra. We need to continue this Democrat process. How many people think that maybe it's time for some disruption, that maybe it's time to have a fighter, it's time to have somebody with a seat at the table, it's time to have a fighter for this area? We've never had it. I'm happy to do it. I've signed up for this. And let me tell you, I speak to these things of my ability in the courtroom. I speak to that I was a former prosecutor, 27 years that I've been a dog in the criminal courts. And I speak to these things because it's hardened me in a way that I can handle this, that I can write law, and that I can think of things that need to be fixed for the better of the community. In conclusion, I want to end on a law that was signed yesterday by Governor DeSantis in Florida, something that's been near and dear to my heart. I'm the only one speaking to this matter. Enhancement and expansion of animal cruelty. And Florida overnight has jumped to one of the lead states in protecting our animals. It's time for Texas to have a fighter like that, not just for the community, but for our pets, to enhance punishment, to send people to prison that do these things. And then I'm reminded of this, one, because it was signed into law yesterday, and two, because I was in court. I heard another horrible case. Our area needs a fighter like this. I can write these laws on day one. I can write laws to lower taxes on day one. I am proud to be pro-life. I don't apologize for being pro-life. As I've spoken of my pro-life stance, you have no idea the level of attack that I've faced online, and I take it as a badge of honor. My name is Sergio Sanchez. Please go to sergiofortexas.com. I'm asking for the importance of one vote. Thank you.